Hi everybody, Jennifer Ferguson here with Artistic Painting Studio, and I'm basically here just doing some experimenting and playing around with fabric painting, and thought I'd just bring you guys in and let you have some fun with me. So as you guys come on, say hello. I'd love to see who's all here. I see Anne and Lisa. Thank you guys for joining. And Terry, it's always a pleasure to have you here as well. So I'm a very transparent and honest person, and I needed to let you guys know where everything ended up with the last time I painted my jeans, okay? And if you guys have been following me and doing some stuff, you guys know that I baked my jeans, okay? So somebody had reminded me like, oh yeah, you can just throw them in the oven. I think it's just on 250 or something, and just bake them for like 30 minutes. It's a great way to heat set the paint. Well, you guys, if you do that, set a timer, okay? And make sure you remember to take your jeans out of the oven and don't bake them all day like I did. I think I baked mine for 8 to 9 hours, okay? So it should have set any paint, okay? They were baked very, very well. But what I'm discovering is, you know, all the fabric painting I've done over the years has always been with a stencil or freehand. And you're able to actually, you know, take your brushes and scrub the paint into the fibers of the fabric. So, you know, having everything stay really well and not have an issue has never been a problem. Okay, so now I got my fabulous rollers out, and I'm like, oh my God, this is like, you know, stenciling on steroids. So we can just whip out a pair of jeans and do some fabulous patterns, and it's done in minutes, okay? But that roller is just rolling over, you guys. It's not like working the paint into the fiber. So I'm having to figure out what paint is going to work the best. And I know some of my retailers are having some fun with this too. So they're going to have to report in and let me know what they have also discovered. So I was going to let you guys see, okay, here is the pair that I did with the Bohemian. And this was done with General Finishes chalk style paint in Chapin Gray. And so this did really, you know, pretty well. Okay, it faded out a little bit, which to me, I think that's kind of a cool look, because sometimes you want your painting to kind of just be there and be a subtle statement. Sometimes you want it to kind of be a little bit more maybe in your face, okay? So this did fade out a little bit, but not bad, okay? So I was pretty happy with that. Where I wasn't happy, okay, was these, okay? These faded out a little bit more than I wanted to. I kind of almost lost my pattern. And I'm gonna go right back over this. I know I'm not gonna be able to match up the pattern, but I got a color that's similar. And we're gonna try an actual fabric paint. So I went shopping, okay? Oh, good, Anne, I'm glad that you're testing. So we'll have a little bit more testing even going on. So there wasn't a lot of options when I went to Hobby Lobby. I don't know why, but they have just a soft fabric ink is what I found, okay? And I don't know exactly what all brand, but you guys can probably look at that and maybe go see. And I didn't have time. There's another product. This was plaid, okay? I used to use a product years ago, and I just haven't had a chance to go and research it and try to find it again. The other thing I'm going to try is, this is by Deco Art, and it's a fabric painting medium, okay? Which is meant to add to an acrylic paint, or basically say acrylic. I'm going to add it to something else, and make it a fabric paint. So this should help with our adhesion of keeping in the fibers. So I'm going to do a little playing, and I hope that you guys have some fun with me and enjoy this. So I've got a couple different things in my head that, you know, I'm kind of working on trying to figure out strategy, okay? And one of them is, I'm going to leave the ones that I did with the Bohemian. Okay, I'm leaving these alone. I love them just the way they are. And those are some fun jeans. So I'm not doing anything with that pair. So I'm going to get this pair out of the way before I end up doing something to those, okay? And the first one I'm going to try is we're just going to try the fabric paint, okay? So I got a color, like I said, is pretty similar to what I already used. And what I always do here, you guys, is I got my good old serving trays, okay? And I line these with press and seal so that my surface stays clean. I don't have to wash my trays all the time. And I don't know, but we're probably going to eat up this whole bottle, okay? Of fabric paint here. They say fabric ink, but let's see, okay? But I'm going to probably just pour the whole thing out and load one of the sponges. So this is kind of a good determination of how much paint I am using when I'm loading one of my rollers. Okay, I'm going to bring the camera down here so you guys can actually see what I'm doing. And let's kind of straighten out my camera. And as I keep going, you guys, please post your questions, and I will do my best to answer everything. Okay, so we're starting off with one of my stamping rollers, okay? So this is the handle. It comes with the bar, okay, the U-shaped bar and the blue handle. They come separate. There's a little nut here and a screw, and you just screw them together, no big deal. And then this is a sponge applicator, okay? This is where we actually load the paint or whatever wet product you're using. And it's loaded into the back holes, okay? So the holes that are closest to the handle, okay? And it's always easiest to do that when it's setting on a table. So there's pins on the end of the sponge applicator. There's pins on the end of the rollers, okay? And all of those go in these holes. So there's only two sets of holes. There's the back hole for the sponge and the front hole for the pattern. Okay, so I'm going to read somebody's comment here. Well, Terry, that's one of the things that if you're able to paint the fabric and able to like scrub your paint into the fabric, it's not a big deal. It is actually that we're just rolling over the top of the fabric and we're not able to like work the paint into the actual fabric. So that's where I'm getting to try to figure out a way that we can get that a paint is just going to stick and stay no matter what, okay? So I poured out almost all that paint, and I'm going to have to pour just about the rest of it here, okay? Because we want to get complete coverage on our foam applicator, you guys, okay? So just keep rolling back and forth. Okay, my press and seal is not sticking to my tray really well here. Let's see if I can get that to stick a little bit better so that I can roll this. Okay, and the other thing that I'll do is just use my brush, okay, and make sure that I have complete coverage everywhere, and just kind of work the paint throughout. And for what I'm doing, there should be plenty, okay? So even if I did wipe out this entire bottle, it was only $2.50, so it's not a huge investment to paint my jeans, okay? It might, Terry, and this is a little bit thicker paint, so a little bit of water wouldn't be a bad idea. So I'm just going to kind of spray the sponge applicator and just kind of keep working it in. So a little bit of water is never bad when you're working with the foam applicators to begin with, because you want to let everything really get soaked in well to the sponge, okay? So now that I've got that set up, the next thing that you guys are going to do is once you have your foam applicator loaded with the paint color you're going to use, then again, it's good to kind of set it on its side, and that way you can open up the top of the handle here, the bar, and open it wide enough where you can slide in your patterned roller, okay? And I'm using the same pattern roller that I used before. And then the only other thing I want to do is go ahead and find a piece of paper. Let's see if we can find one. Okay. So here is just some packing paper. And it's always a good idea to you guys just to do a roll on some paper so that you can see the pattern and make sure everything is getting loaded, okay? So you don't want to start your project before you have all of your design and pattern loaded with paint. And the best way to do that is just roll on some craft paper. This is packing paper, you know, whatever you guys got laying around. This design is called Flower Power, and I absolutely love this one. Such a fun pattern. Okay, now let's find some room. Okay, Jennifer just needs a bigger table, you guys. So that's going to be an objective here in the next month, is that I get a bigger table to work on, because I constantly am running out of space. Let's see, we found something underneath there we can put it on. And the other thing, you guys, okay, I'm gonna get my bead jeans all set up here in a second, but the other thing I was thinking about is I haven't done a giveaway in a while. So I think it's time to have a fun giveaway. And you guys know, pretty much I give stencils and rollers away for shares. So we're gonna do that again today. So if you guys will share this video and then just type in the word share that you've done it, and that way we know you're entered in the contest. And I'm going to give away a stencil to start with. Okay, so we're going to give away one of my Hampton Medallion stencils, and it's an awesome design. You guys will love that. Planning on using it in a little bit, okay? So the more shares, the more things I'll give away. So we got to get up to 50 shares, and then we'll give away one stencil, okay? And then from there, okay, guys, I'm just trying to get things straight. I don't know why my camera is so off today. From there, we'll see how many shares we get, and maybe we'll even give a roller away before I'm finished, too. Okay, so let's get back to business. Oh, you guys are so sweet. Thanks for all the shares. You guys are so cool. And, you know, it's one thing, too, that when you share the video, it ends up on your own page, which I don't know about you guys, but whenever I find something that is really cool that I want to watch again, if I don't share it to my own page, I may never ever find it again. So this is a great way for me to actually find stuff and be able to actually relocate it at some point. Because once I'm on Facebook and I've been playing around and here and there and everywhere, I never ever can remember where I've seen something. But I appreciate it, you guys. So we've got our roller. It's all loaded. Paint's fresh, okay? And like I said, I still have some of the pattern that did end up on here that stayed, but I'm just not going to worry about it. It's so light. And I'm just going to try to do a little bit more of a heavier hand, you guys. So I'm gonna like push a little bit harder, but I don't want to push so hard that, because these are a softer rubber, you guys. So I don't want to press so hard that I would end up getting the paint down into the lower section, okay? Debbie, this is actually a fabric paint by Plaid, okay? I just squeezed out the whole bottle, so that's why it looks kind of funny right now. And that's all I'm using. So I'm just experimenting with different things, okay? And this color is looking pretty cool on there. What do you guys think, okay? So I think it's got enough contrast that it's gonna show well. And starting to actually kind of like, when I lay it down, it almost fades away. When I hold it up, then you guys can actually see it. But it'll be interesting to see how well that pops off of there when it's dry. Okay, that's feeling a little bit wet, more wet than the other products. So I'm gonna let that leg sit. And I'm gonna do the front of this leg again, okay? And you can still see that there's a little bit of pattern from the last time I rolled. And like I said, I'm not going to worry too much about that. And we are just going to roll and do the same thing again. I'm going to get that little corner there. Okay, I'm going to set this back down on my tray. Okay, I gotta read some of you guys' comments. I know, Debbie, it's going to be fun. We're just trying to figure out the best product to use, okay? So that's what this all about, is that experimenting and figuring out what is the best product that is going to stay on the jeans really well. So besides doing this, okay, I'm just going to let that dry just a little bit before I flip it, okay? Oops, let's flip them this way. We just got to make sure we've got something is going to stay on the fabric. And, you know, there are times where you just have to play. You just have to experiment and figure out what's going to work the best. So, yes, this is all about playtime here, Debbie, figuring out what is the best product. And I've got a couple different options that I'm doing, okay? And, okay, so let's get the back of these jeans done. And this is just too cool, okay? Now, the other thing I didn't test, you guys, okay, and I could have, is, you know, maybe you never wash the jeans. Maybe you take them to the dry cleaners, okay? And then you never have to worry about it because it shouldn't fade if you're just dry cleaning them. So that's another option. Okay, let's see. Let's get this going here. And do I want to go any more up on that one? I don't know. We're going to just go ahead and go a little bit further. There. I hope you guys can see that well. These are so fun. Okay, let me put my roller down. And that way I can lift these up a little bit better for you guys, okay? I'm going to go ahead and lift this all the way up. And see if I can show you guys this a little bit better, okay? So my color contrast is not as strong as I had originally had done them, okay? So this color I bought is a little bit closer to the denim color. But again, you know, sometimes you want things to be really, really bold, and sometimes it's okay to kind of be a little bit more subtle. So this color combination is definitely going to be more subtle. But it'll be interesting to see when they dry. So I'm going to hang these up so they're out of the way, and then I'll show you guys I'll show you guys before I finish, okay, and just see if they've changed color. Because you know how we do our chalk paint, and as it dries, it gets lighter, okay? So I'm not sure if the fabric paint is going to dry darker or lighter, maybe because it was on the denim. Okay. Now, yes, I own a ton of pair of denim jeans, okay? And I'll tell you guys, all my work clothes, okay, everything just about that I wear at the studio is my Goodwill find jeans, okay? So I went to, my daughter and I had a fun Sunday, okay, we scored. We went to go look for a dresser because she wanted to redo a dresser for her room that she's using right now while she's here. And we found that, plus we found a bunch of jeans. I got like 4 pairs of jeans for $10 a piece, okay? So even if I just wanted to come here and play with them and do some fun stuff, it was awesome. Debbie, I did use the chalk paint, okay? So I did originally do that pair that I just redid with Debbie's Design Diary chalk paint. And that's the pair that didn't stay. And like I said, it's not that her paint will not stay on fabric. It's the fact that we're just rolling right over the top and there's not a lot of pressure. We're not scrubbing the paint into the fabric. So it's not getting a chance to really get into the fibers and become permanent. So that's what I'm experimenting with, is finding something that's going to work with the rollers that we don't have to worry about. Okay, so this is the one that I'm going to put to the test. So I'm going to let that dry. I'm going to heat set those, and then we're going to wash them again, and we're going to see what happens. Okay, the other one that I'm going to try is, I think this will be really fun. This is Cowboy Coral, okay? And again, this is a DIY paint by Debbie's Design Diary, because you guys all know I love, love, love her paint. Yeah, Sandra, I did every way possible to heat set, okay? I've heat set with an iron. I heat set in my oven, okay? I baked my jeans for way too many hours. So every way that you can heat set, I've tried it. It just happens to be trying to get the paint to get into the fiber. Colored glue. I'm not sure. So what I'm going to do with Debbie's paint is mix this with, we're going to mix some with fabric medium, okay? And fabric medium, yeah, let's just use a brush. Find a brush. Okay, let's grab a brush. Fabric medium is really meant to go into acrylic paint, but I figured it would work with Debbie's paint. And I'm kind of just trying to eyeball how much product I need. And so, yeah, Teresa, that's what I'm doing, okay? So this time I'm going to add fabric medium to Debbie's paint. And it's 2 parts paint and 1 part medium, okay? So, kind of judging here. A 2-to-1 mixture, okay? And just mix that all around, okay? So this is fabric medium and Debbie's paint, okay? And I'm hoping that this will create a better adhesion that we need so that we never have to worry, okay? I mean, the whole objective is that you could take like any acrylic paint, any chalk paint, any of the paints you guys really work with, and just add a fabric medium to it and you should be fine. So we're just going to experiment and see how well this works. Okay, so we got to load another roller. And so I've got another fresh tray, you guys. Do I carry fabric medium? No, Sandra. Well, actually, I used to. I think I probably got a few jars left around that I pulled out for myself today. Okay, so press and seal. Just putting this over my serving tray. Okay, trying to get it to stick down there so that I've got a surface to work on. Yes, this it was a cowgirl coral, okay? So I'm going to pour this out. This has the fabric medium in it, okay? And we're going to load another roller, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and put this in. Again, use you guys' bottom holes, the holes closest to the handle. Let's see. As far as fabric painting medium, Deco Art is the brand that I've used for years. I used this back probably 15 or 20 years ago, who knows how long. So that's pretty much the brand that I've always have used, Sandra. I don't know what other brands are out there. I'm kind of partial to the Deco Art brand. And I know some people just whatever craft paint there is, they have no, you know, they don't care. I mean, and pretty much if there's another fabric painting medium out there that'll do the job, then go for it. Years and years ago, I think it was Jacquard maybe, that I had used, or a brand that was similar to that, and that's the one I was going to look up and get, and I just hadn't had a chance to do it yet. Again, I'm going to get a little bit of water, you guys, and I'm just misting, okay? So I'm not adding a ton of water, but I'm just going to kind of let that loosen up a little bit and soak into the sponge really well. And I might as well just get all of this out here since I mixed it up. It's not like I'm going to probably use it for anything else, so let's just not waste it. And let's get that all into my sponge, okay? So you guys, how we doing with shares? So you know the gig. The more shares, the more things I'll be able to give away. So if we get up to 50 shares today, I'm going to give away at least one stencil, okay? And if we get over 100 shares, you guys, I'll actually give a roller away tonight too, okay? I haven't been able to give a roller away for a while, so that'll be fun. Okay, pattern-wise, okay? My other thought process was either using maybe the chrysanthemum or the Lotus pattern and these I can roll a little bit harder because it's a harder rubber, okay? So that's the main difference between, other than one has pins and one doesn't, you guys, the main difference between the blue and the red, okay? These are softer and they're squishier. So when you push on them, you can really get down to the bottom area where there's no pattern and you don't want the design to get there. So on the red rollers, these are a harder rubber, so you can press harder with them. So I think I'm going to go ahead and do a pair of the jeans with either this one, Chrysanthemum, or Lotus. And I thought that I could push a little harder, and then maybe that's even another great way to get the paint to adhere in there better, because I'm going to be able to get a little bit more pressure with the roller. So I told you, my brain's always thinking about how we can make things work. I mean, I am one who, this is such a great project, so much fun to do. I want to make it as easy and doable for anybody. And I'll tell you that if I find out everything is not adhering and staying as well as I'd like, no matter if it's a fabric paint, no matter if it's adding the fabric medium, if I'm not finding anything that's washing well, I'll dry clean a pair for you guys and find out, okay, if we just dry clean them, is there any issue? Okay, so then you just have jeans you have to dry clean once in a while. Yeah, I used to dry clean all my jeans years ago when I didn't want them to shrink or to fade. So yeah, if you guys want to enter the contest, just say that you shared, okay, and we'll put your name in the drawing. So which pattern would you guys like to see? Do you want me to try the Chrysanthemum on the jeans or the Lotus pattern? So give me some input here, you guys. And I'm going to show you how you convert. Okay, so whichever roller we decide to use, okay, the red rollers do not have a pin on the end. So this is the converter bar that we designed, that all you do is put this inside. Okay, I should have showed you guys that. Okay, so all I'm doing is shoving it down the middle of the red rollers, okay? So then you have a pin that's coming out on either side, and this will fit into the handle. And that's the only way to convert the red rollers to the stamping handle. Okay, it looks like we're even Steven here, you guys. So I think I have just as many chrysanthemums as I have with the Lotus, okay? Okay. Oh, Lotus is winning now. Okay, well, let's see. Okay, let's just do the Lotus. Let's have fun with the Lotus. I've used the chrysanthemum so much because it is one of my favorite patterns. Okay, so again, whenever you guys are loading your handle with the pattern, keep it on the side so that bottom pin from the sponge will stay in place. And then go ahead and put in your pattern, okay? It does it so easy. And you guys, thank you so much for the shares. You don't know how much I appreciate that. Okay, I'm gonna bend over and get some paper again here. See if I can find a clean section or maybe just a dry section, okay, to roll onto so I can make sure that the pattern is completely loaded. And we'll have some fun with this, okay? And I'm gonna probably have more painted jeans than anybody I know, okay? But how much fun is this? Okay, this pattern is a little bit more distinctive, so I think we're gonna probably do some stripes, okay, at the bottom. And I'll tell you, sometimes your fabric is a little challenging because it just wants to bundle, okay? I'm on the seam over here, okay, so maybe I'm gonna come this way and come towards me. And yes, I'm pushing a lot harder than I pushed with the other one. Okay, let's get this all the way down and see if you guys can see that better. Okay, so you can see how that's coming out great. Okay, now we got to kind of do some design element here and decide. I think I might break it here and do a couple of rows. And again, I'm pushing really, really hard, you guys, and I'm doing that on purpose because I want to see if pushing the paint into the jeans is going to work better. Okay, I think 2 rows at the bottom is pretty darn cute, you guys. So let's see if I can get the other leg done and keep these somewhat even, okay? So yeah, the hardest thing I found about the denim is, you guys, we've got all these seams where the denim is like 3 times thicker here. You got the side seams. things don't always want to lay down. You know, nothing's going to be perfect, okay? But who cares? This is hand done, and we're just having fun. So again, I'm going to come in here with a lot more pressure than usual. And there we go. Okay, do I have those close? Yeah, I'm probably a little off, okay? Yeah, just a little bit. Okay, let's get this one on here. Cool, okay. And I think that color is really, really fun on the denim. Okay, and again, this is Cowgirl Coral, and it's by DIY Paint. And I've mixed this with, I'm looking for a tray so I can flip the jeans over. I mixed it with fabric medium to try to get it to adhere better into the fibers. Okay, I'm flipping over the jeans. And I have to kind of eyeball wherever we started. Okay, so I'm going to have to kind of like pull it over here a little bit and just kind of see where it started so I can get that somewhat lined up. And let's do it again, you guys. Okay, so I'm kind of eyeballing where you can see my fingers so I know kind of where to start, okay? And, you know, it's not going to be perfect, and that's just part of it. But I'm going to give it a really good push, okay? I'm trying to push on that paint as much as I can. And hopefully we don't have the fading that we did before, okay? But the cool thing is that this is such an easy and fun project, and other than the time it takes to mix your paint, load your roller, you guys can have so much stinking fun with these, okay? And again, I'm trying to kind of match up where I started here. And just push, okay? So yes, working with the red rollers, I know you can put way more pressure on these than the blue rollers, so that could be one of the things that we might end up recommending, okay? And thank you guys, they are super cute. I mean, how fun. How fun is this, okay? Those are gonna be at the bottom of the jeans. That is just so cool. Okay, I'm looking through the crotch of my jeans, okay. So this is done with the Lotus pattern, okay? So again, these I'm going to allow to dry. I'm gonna take all my jeans home tonight. I'm gonna heat set them, okay? I'm not gonna cook them for half the day this time, but I'm gonna heat set them again, and then wash them, okay? And see what happens. And hopefully we are really, really successful. Let's see if I can find a spot. Okay, I found a spot underneath there, okay? Got some bar stools where everything is setting on. Yes, Agnes, that was Cowgirl Coral, okay? Which, don't say it too fast, by DIY. So that's all ready to go. Okay, so the other thing that I was gonna go ahead and do is, yes, we have another pair of jeans, okay? And yeah, I wanna say only I think 2 pairs of these actually came from Goodwill. The darker jeans, I think I spent $100 on once, okay? You know, one of those weak moments. Okay, so we're gonna also do some fabric painting with the stencils. So if you guys humor me, okay, and share this video, and we get at least 50 shares, somebody's gonna win a copy of this stencil today. So I'm so excited to give it away. And I'm gonna go ahead and, oh, Georgia, I heat set a couple different ways. You can heat set with an iron and a pressing cloth. You can also heat set in your oven, which I did, and I baked my jeans, okay, for hours and hours and hours because I forgot and went to work and left the oven on all day. So at 250 degrees, I baked my jeans for, I think, somewhere around 9 hours. And all I can say is that's really, really not good for your gas or electric bill, okay? So don't try that trick, you guys. If you do a heat setting in your oven, do me a favor and set the timer, okay? Don't do Jennifer's trick and just forget that you're multitasking and you got all this stuff going on and you just leave the house and leave the jeans, okay? So has anybody else baked their jeans as long as I have? Not one of my finer moments, okay? Okay, so we're gonna use stencil brush. Okay, I've got a whole big collection. Okay, let's bring you guys up here for a second. So I've got a whole collection of brushes, you guys, and I'm going to make sure that we get a link on here for them because all my stencils and stencil brushes are not on my main website. We've got 2 websites, okay? And soon, hopefully soon, one of the other projects we're working on around here is that both of those sites are going to be all on one site, okay? So they're merging, okay? And we're hoping to get that done maybe by the end of the month. We'll see. But the stencil brushes are on the Stenciled Garden site, okay? So we have these, I've had these manufactured probably for the last, I don't know, 20 years or so. So they have the Stenciled Garden on them, and they are a great, great brush, you guys. They're reasonably priced, and they'll last you so much longer than any other brushes. So spend an extra $1 or $2 and get some really, really good brushes. So you guys will love these. Okay, so I'm going to do some more experimenting here. And let's see what colors I have. Okay, that's just too close. Maybe, okay, so I've got, because the chalk paint by General Finishes was like the best winner so far of staying in the fibers, okay, and not washing out. I figured I would try some of their paint with fabric medium, okay? And I'm thinking that that might be another good combination to try, okay? So we're gonna check this out. So let me get a little stir stick over here so I can get some of this paint out because I'm gonna mix some fabric medium into it. Okay, so I'm gonna try, this is their Key West Blue. Okay, one of my favorite colors. Again, we got a nice teal color. And then I'm also going to go ahead and do some more Chapin Gray, just to have a couple of colors to play with. Just because, okay? Who knows? So I've got, okay, so I'm going to put this back down here, you guys, okay? If I've missed your questions, I'll try to answer them later. And make sure that I do respond to you guys. Okay, so when we're doing the mixing, you guys, it's 2 parts paint and 1 part fabric medium. So I'm going to mix some small little batches. Okay, we need some more. But like I said, tonight was like an experiment night, okay? I wanted to get in here and have a chance to play. And I figured I'd just experiment with you guys because, like I said, I'm very transparent. If something hasn't gone exactly the way I had intended, I don't want to mislead anybody, and that you guys try something and it doesn't work. That's no good, okay? I want everybody to be successful. Okay, so I'm just mixing that in there. Dang, I should have brought a water bucket back here. Okay, I got too many sticks going. We're always making a mess back here. Okay, so all I'm doing is mixing the fabric medium into the paint. And let's see, who's on here still with me? Terry, can you tell me how many shares we've had so far so I can figure out if we've got a winner yet for the stencil? So the stencil that I'm going to be using right now, which is the Hampton Medallion, is the one that I'm giving away tonight, okay? So we just have to get 50 shares and I'll give one of the stencils away. And if you guys want to go absolutely insane and crazy for me and share like you wouldn't believe and get up to 100, I'll give a roller away. We'll give the Lotus roller away. Okay, so we're almost to a stencil, you guys. So get going on your sharing, okay? Okay, so let's make sure you can see everything I got going here. I've got my palette of colors. My colors are mixed with fabric medium. Both of these are by General Finishes. I have Chapin Gray and Key West Blue are my colors. Oh, thank you, Agnes. Appreciate the shares. Let's see. Is there anything I missed here? Sorry, guys. I was just reading there for a second. Okay. So we're going to do some traditional stenciling, you guys. And I'm going to show you how. Okay, I'm just digging out more brushes here. Show you guys how I stencil. We don't want to bleed underneath, so you guys need to be dry brushing, okay? And we're going to test out the blue color first. So I'm picking up a little bit of paint, not a lot. Let's see if I go a little bit further down. Can you guys see better? Pick up a little paint, go over to this paper towel, and go wipe it all off, or what seems like all of it. And that same swirling motion that I'm using to unload, okay? You guys can use that motion to actually paint. So when I'm talking about how we're scrubbing the paint into the fibers, this is what the roller's missing, you guys. This is the action that we're missing, is we're not able to do this with the roller, and I know that that is really the main issue. So hopefully with my experimenting, we're going to come with have a better plan, okay? I know that what I've done so far should definitely stick way better, okay? Oh, somebody asked about how to, okay, I know my brain just totally went sideways there, but I thought of one other way, you guys, I heat set. Okay, so you can heat set in the oven. Okay, just turn it on low, 250 degrees, and only for like 30 minutes, not the 9 hours that I did, okay? And that's one way to heat set. The other way is an iron and a pressing cloth. So you would actually put this on iron and put a pressing cloth over the top and just iron on top of this surface. And I want to say, you know, 30, 60 seconds, okay? It's not supposed to be for a huge long time, but just make sure that you're heating up the paint, warming up the surface, and it's supposed to be setting it into the fiber, okay? And then the third way is just throwing it in the dryer for maybe 20, 30 minutes, okay, on a hot dryer. So those are 3 ways you can heat set. So there's lots of options to do it. And I will still even heat set this, okay? Oh, this is an awesome stencil, you guys. So, hey, keep your shares going. Somebody's going to be lucky person tonight and win a copy of this stencil. So get your shares going, load them up, see how many of your friends you can get to share the video. And you never know. Sometimes you just don't know that the person might find this video that just totally needed this in their life, okay? Isn't there times where you just find something on one of your girlfriend's pages where you're like, oh my gosh, you know, it's just, I really needed that today. Somebody might need a creative outlet. Somebody might just need a place to come and watch some crazy lady do some videos and show you guys all kinds of fun stuff. So when I talked about in the very beginning, so the rollers are stenciling on steroids, you guys. I can't say it any better, but I mean, the rollers just go way, way faster, okay? I would be done by now. Stenciling is a wonderful art form, and believe me, I love it with all my heart, but it is more time consuming. So instead of just whipping these jeans out, you know, they're gonna take me longer, but there's a better chance of this will stay. But we're going to make it work. We are going to figure out the magic potion, the formula, the recipe, whatever you want to call it. We're going to figure it out, and we are going to make it work because we are going to be doing more and more fabric painting, and we've just got to make it work, okay? Let's see if I can switch back here for a second. Agnes, I think the ratio for fabric medium to paint is always 2 parts paint, 1 part medium. Now, I wasn't doing exact measurements, okay? I was eyeballing, so I know I'm close, but I'm definitely not precise. So it's a 2 to 1, 2 paint, 1 medium. And if you forget, I would say almost every jar is going to tell you what ratio to actually use. And all I did is pick up, well, actually I've had it for a long time. Deco Art is the brand I like to use. So it's their fabric painting medium that I used, okay? And it's just designed to be added to their craft acrylics. But I have added it to the DIY paint tonight. I've added it to General Finishes chalk paint, and we're going to just see which one works the best, okay? So this is fun. Okay, I hope you guys are enjoying this. Okay, let me catch up with my comments. Oh, gosh, let's see. How many shares are we up to, you guys? Oh, Agnes, I'm not sure I'd go there. That would be one of those things you'd probably have to dry clean. It might stick. I'm not sure, okay? So, you know, you might have my curiosity up enough to try it on a pair of my own jeans, or you can try it and let me know. I'm not sure how well that would wash. Even though the glass bead gel is a really, really durable product, and it dries super hard to go on furniture, I just don't know how well it would adhere to fabric, because it's definitely not made for this surface. Okay, let's see how we're doing here. Oh my gosh, I love it. Okay, so I'm going to see where I have finished, and I'm going to flip over so that I can do the rest, okay? And that way, part of the pattern will be on one side of the leg, and part of the pattern will be on the other side of the leg. Okay, so I'm just going to match that up, move that over, and then I can re-tape on this side. And I did put a little bit of, oops, let's keep some of that seam there. I did spray the back of the stencil, you guys, with spray adhesive. That way, all those little parts, okay, would kind of stay in position as I was working on the jeans. And I'm also using just some good old blue tape to keep it in position. And hopefully you guys can see really, really well. And if I'm missing your guys' questions, because I'm trying to paint, so I'm looking down, I'm not looking up, okay? But can somebody tell me where we are on shares so I know if we've got a winner yet, okay? Yes, you could use different colors, okay? No problem there. And maybe I even will. Maybe I'll even touch a little bit of the cream on top of this, okay? This color is coming out pretty light as it is. And I don't think I'm perfectly in position, but I'm not going to worry about it, okay? So what fun things have you guys all been up to? So Anne, if you're asking about the spray adhesive on the stencil, anytime you spray, because I always spray the back side of the stencil with spray adhesive, and I think, let's see, I've got a can right here. Okay, so the product I was using is Stencil Ease Repositionable Spray Adhesive. Okay, it's one of my favorites. But you want to go and spray that outdoors. Do not spray it indoors, you guys. You don't want to be breathing that stuff in. You can always read the directions on the can, but basically I hold it, I think 8 or 10 inches away from the back of the stencil, and just give it a light mist on the back side, and allow the spray adhesive to sit there for at least a couple of minutes before you attach it to anything. And that way it will not leave a residue on your surface, okay? If you use the spray adhesive, you spray your stencil and then immediately go put it on something, I'll guarantee you guys that most likely a little bit of residue will get transferred to your surface because it was too wet. So just allow the spray adhesive to dry and tack up before you put it on your project, okay? And you'll have great success. Now, as far as your question, Anne, if you're asking will it wash off the back of the stencil, If I really tried, I probably could get the spray adhesive off of the stencil, but I normally don't even care, okay? I just have a bunch of stencils that have a little bit of stick to them. And I mean, once you reposition the stencil enough times, it's not that sticky anyway. And then after washing it, there might be a little bit of residue left on them. I just don't find it's a big deal. I think at one point in my life I was being better when I was storing them and either making sure they went back into a plastic bag if they had spray adhesive on them, or a piece of wax paper in between other stencils, okay, so that they didn't get stuck to anything else. I can't say I'm really good about that anymore. I just kind of got a pile of them. I got piles and piles and piles and piles of them, okay? I have thousands and thousands of stencils here, okay, and I'm not exaggerating. I really do. Okay, so that is just really, really cool. Okay, so I don't know who made the comment about maybe use more than one color. Okay, so we're going to try that. We're going to go ahead and pick up some of the Chapin Gray, which just kind of is, I don't know, it's just a little bit of almost like a white color, but it's not really white, okay? It's just, I don't know, soft tan that goes closer to the gray side. Yeah, it might add a little bit of interest. A little here and there. You can actually maybe pounce this color on so that it's just a little bit more of a hit and miss and random. Kind of have some fun with that. So it's a little bit more variegated. Okay, so this is where I would come in. You guys saw that I swirled in my color to begin with, and now I'm just pouncing on a little bit of the Chapin Gray for a little extra interest, okay? Oh, how fun is this, you guys? I hope you can see that really, really well. Love, 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 love. Okay, so let's go back to the other side. Since I've added some of the Chapin Gray, let's get our stencil lined back up. That's always the biggest trick, you guys, is when you take your stencil off of your project and then you decide, oh, I want to add something, and then you got to go line everything back up. I think that always takes more time than anything else to make sure that you've matched the pattern up completely, okay? So I'm just going to do a little bit more hit and miss, and then I'm going to bring the camera back up, you guys, in a minute here and see if I can answer some more questions and make sure I haven't missed anything, because I've been down here actually working, okay? I'm working on my project. So pouncing seems to be getting more contrast. Just not sure if pouncing is going to make the color stay as well. Because I know that swirling it into the fiber is going to be better than just a little pounce, okay? But we'll see. Voila, voila, that looks awesome. Okay, let me get my stencil out of the way here. And let's bring you back up so I can see who's here and read some cool things. Hey, Brenda, nice to see you. Okay, 46. Thank you, Terry. Thank you. You knew what I wanted. Okay, so let's take a look at those jeans, you guys. This is so awesome, okay? And how much fun is that? Got a little bit of pattern on the back, got a lot of pattern on the front, okay? I think I'm going to go ahead and definitely do the other leg, okay? I had to kind of stop on this one because, you know, these are my ripped up jeans, okay? That I think I could probably go a little further on the other leg, okay? So let's see who all is here. Oh, the two colors. Thank you, Debbie. Yeah, it was kind of fun putting the two colors together. Susan, the colors that I just finished using were Key West and Chapin Gray by General Finishes, and both of those have the Deco Art fabric painting medium added to them, okay? So this is a test to see which products are going to work the best, okay? And of course we're going to be doing some heat setting and making sure everything is going great. So if some of you guys have just joined, okay, I've covered a lot of stuff tonight. And if you would do me a big favor and share this video. I think we're almost up to 50 shares, and once we get to 50 shares, you guys, we are going to give away that stencil, okay? So somebody is going to be the lucky winner of the Hampton Medallion tonight. Yeah, the Key West is great on the denim, okay? And you just kind of got to figure out what colors are going to work the best. I never really worry about what color I put on because I figured who cares, you know, whatever I wear with it, it's going to work. Oh, hey, Debbie, we got one winner. Okay, so everybody that has shared the video and typed the word shared will be in the drawing for a copy of the stencil. And we're going to let the contest go for like a day or so. And if we can get up to 100 shares, then we're going to have one person win a roller. Okay, so we're going to have 2 winners tonight if we can get there. So are there any questions, you guys, about what I've done? Obviously, this has been an experiment, okay, where I wanted to figure out which paints are going to work the best with the rollers, okay? I did the stenciling just because I wanted to show off this great stencil and show you guys a technique for doing that on fabric. But here was the second pair that I did, okay? This was done with the Lotus roller, and I used the DIY Cowgirl Coral, okay? And I chose using, let me get my visual aids up here, okay? I feel like I gotta be Vanna. I chose the red roller for this one so I could press harder, you guys, okay? So we're testing paints, we're testing combinations of paints, on which paints are going to work better with a fabric medium, which paints are going to work better with the rollers. And let me grab the last pair, which was actually the first pair that I did, okay? And, you know, it's going to be very, very subtle, you guys. It's there, but that color was actually too dark, okay? This is fabric paint, okay? So this is Plaid's fabric paint directly on the denim, and I guess I should have chose a lighter color because it just basically absorbed into my dark denim, okay? But this is an experiment pair. I might be painting these 3 or 4 more times. Who knows? Who knows how many times I'm gonna paint this pair of jeans? This is at least twice, okay? Maybe 3 times. But I'm gonna wash them and see if they come out to at least this same color. And then we know that fabric paint, just straight good old fabric paint, might work the best. But so it's all experimenting, okay? So I've experimented with 3 different paints and 2 different rollers and using a stencil. So all of this is going to get washed, and we're just going to figure out what is going to work the best, okay? And then I'm going to come back and tell you guys, okay? So let's see if I'm good about this tonight and I get my heat setting done and I can actually get the jeans washed, okay? We'll see. You never know what happens to my evenings sometimes because it can get crazy at home. But like I said, I'll keep you guys posted. We're going to keep good notes on what I did so that we can figure out exactly and I can report to you guys. And we're going to find a winner. Hopefully I'm going to have a winner tomorrow on which is going to be the best product and the best roller to use. So thank you guys. Thank you guys for hanging out. So one other thing I wanted to share with you guys is I got a class coming up. It's a week from Friday, okay? So next Friday and Saturday, I'm doing my furniture and cabinetry workshop here, you guys, and I got to show off this fabulous finish. Okay, I hope this shows as beautiful as it does in person, you guys. I am so thrilled with this one. It is such an awesome finish that has some great texture to it. So if you guys are thinking you might want to come and do a class, we still have a couple of spots. I'll make sure the link is on here in case anybody's interested. We're going to be doing about, I think we're going to try to whip out somewhere between 12 and 14, minimum of 12, okay? But I think we're going to probably end up doing around 14 or 15 samples in 2 days, okay? We're going to kill it in that class. So yes, let's see who said that. Anne, I know, perfect timing. Hopefully all my research is going to give you all the answers you guys need, okay? And we're going to make this work so Anne's going to have a successful class next week. So if there are any other questions, you guys, do me a favor and just post them, and I will make sure to answer. I promise you guys one winner tonight for the stencil, and if more people keep sharing the video as it's getting shared and shared, and we get our 100 shares, I'll also give a roller away, okay? So thank you guys. I appreciate you being here and being part of my community. I appreciate each and every one of you guys, and I do appreciate all those shares. I hope you guys do know that that's from my heart. Have a wonderful night, and I'm going to get back to work and finish up some other stuff I need to. Tonight's my late night, okay? The honey's at the Angels game, so I got the night off. Well, I didn't get the night off. I got the night off of having to come home and cook, so I'm enjoying it, working, playing, and getting things done. Does everybody else do that with their spare time? I guess it was a spare time. I don't know. It's probably going to be a 12-hour day. So I'm just working late and having fun. You guys have a blessed night, and I will see you later this week. I should be back here, I think, on Thursday. So we'll talk soon. Bye.